All right, so as promised, I am going to be rating all the books in the ACOTAR series from my favorites to my least favorite. So, I am basing this on my emotional reactions, basic storyline, and just overall vibes. I think that I kind of rearranged these books in a way where I'm like, okay, I'm happy with this. I can live with this. So there you go. So let's just get into it and tell me if it's similar to what you think. All right, let's get started. So I have, like I shared before, these two books are my top favorites in this series. I cannot choose. I will not choose which one is number one and number two. All right, I take back what I said. After careful deliberation, I have officially decided that A Court of Wings and Ruin is my number one favorite book, solely based on the emotional turmoil I had more often than A Court of Mist and Fury. Don't get me wrong. Chapter 54 and 55 of A Mist and Fury is phenomenal. However, that's like one of the only times I really had an an emotional reaction to that book. While A Court of Rings and Ruin, I've had multiple different occurrences throughout the book where I was completely just devastated. So I'm officially putting A Court of Wings and Ruin number one, Court of Mist and Fury number two, and whatever book I placed for number two is now bumped down to number three. But these two, oh my goodness, these are my top ones for taking first place. I love these books so much. They have opened my eyes, even inspired me as a writer, just how amazing these books are. I will never forget these books. These books will always be rent-free in my head. Yes, this is one and two. All right. If you haven't read these, where have you been? That's it. Where have you been? So there you go. Number two spot is definitely the Silver Flames. Like I said before, I love Nesta as much as she put me through, and Cassian, in a lot of emotional pain. I just love what the story means and means to Nesta and the people that she comes in contact with. So there's that. Third favorite book in this series is The Court of Frost and Starlight. I love a good holiday special. But this book was hard in some cases to get through sometimes. Because while I did enjoy learning about the different civilians and how they got affected by the war, I wasn't emotionally invested in them because I didn't know who they were up until today. So, with that being said, that's one of the big reasons. But also, it was the beginning of Nesta's downfall for me, where I just wanted to chuck this book out of a window. So, frustration purposes as well. So, this is my third. And then last, and definitely least, but this one. If you know, you know. And honestly, I will never read this book again. Part of me wants to just skip to the part where she meets Rhysand and just read that. Just to kind of see, now knowing what I know from book 2, how this looks. Maybe I might do that one day. Not today. Not in a while, but maybe one day. Overall, this is still a good book. I'm not saying that it isn't a good book. The fact that I tried 3 or 4 times to read this dang book and failed until I was forced to read it with an audiobook. It was a hard read at first, but by the time I got to the end, I was very much invested. Last 3 or 4 chapters were so. But regardless, this is the last one in the series because Tamlin is horrible, and it is what it is. Horrible, horrible man. But that is it. That's all I have today. This was a quick one. I didn't want it to be too long, but I hope you enjoyed my quick little review of the books. I do have to do another ranking at some point for January books, so stay tuned for that one. Okay, bye!